Someone cursed your name, and now they begging for forgiveness. Archangel Michael says, you must listen closely, because something dark was sent out into the spiritual atmosphere bearing your name, and the consequences have already begun to shift. A person who once spoke your name with venom, who cursed your energy behind closed doors, is now on their knees. Something has changed, something they didn't anticipate, and it's unraveling in their world like a thread caught in fire. It began with a whisper, a thought, a bitter intention. And with that one act, they set something powerful in motion, unknowingly summoning a backlash they weren't prepared to handle. The universe heard, the divine responded, and now that same person is haunted by the very energy they released. They didn't expect that your spirit would be protected. They didn't understand that the name they tried to soil was wrapped in divine protection and ancestral light. When they cursed your name, they were cursing something chosen. What followed was not a coincidence. Illness, financial collapse, betrayal from their inner circle. It began slowly, but now it's unrelenting. And their dreams are flooded with your face, your voice, your strength, and their regret. Archangel Michael says, justice has a pulse. It doesn't scream or rage. It waits. And then it acts with precision. They underestimated your power. They thought your silence meant weakness, but they didn't know who walks with you. They didn't feel the shield that was raised when they tried to strike you spiritually. They wanted to see you fall, to lose your stability, to suffer. But instead, they're watching you rise in a way that makes their own foundation crumble. They laughed when they whispered about you. They smiled when they said your name with disgust. Now, that same name torments them, echoes in their ears when they close their eyes. They're seeking every method to undo the harm, spiritual readers, prayers, offerings, and frantic pleas into the night. But forgiveness is not a switch. It is earned by truth and accountability. Archangel Michael says, this person now realizes what they invited into their life. They opened the door, and now the shadows won't leave. They are shaking because they thought you were alone. You weren't alone. You had angels positioned on every side of your life. The moment your name was slandered in dark circles, light began to move on your behalf. This person is no longer sleeping. Their food has no taste. Their reflection is changing. Why? Because guilt stains the soul deeper than any scar the skin can hold. They've tried to reach out indirectly, liking a post, viewing your stories, speaking well of you in front of others. But the energy doesn't lie. They know you felt the shift. They hope the heavens will give them one more chance. They believe if they beg hard enough, cry loud enough, karma will reverse. But what's done has been written. This isn't about revenge. It's about revelation. The divine is showing you what was once hidden, the thoughts behind fake smiles, the intentions behind lukewarm hugs, the curses hidden behind gestures of concern. They called on dark energy to hinder your path. They didn't realize that the moment they used your name for harm, they wrote their own fate in ink. Now they tremble, not because of what you'll do, but because of what they've already unleashed. They feel watched, not by people, but by truth. They whisper to themselves, why did I do that? Why did I ever say that name with hate? But no one answers back. Only silence, and their own heart racing like thunder. Their apologies will come in strange forms. Some will try humor, others nostalgia. Some will claim confusion, acting like they didn't know what they were doing. But the truth is, they knew. They knew they wanted to harm you. They just didn't think the divine would care. They tried to speak destruction over your name, but your name is tied to generations of resilience. Your name is coated with ancient light and spiritual lineage. It cannot be broken. They may try to erase what they did, but it's already in the ether. And now, every step they take echoes with regret. People around them are starting to walk away. Not because they know what happened, but because energy doesn't lie. Their aura has become heavy, chaotic, and drenched in secrets. They may post pictures smiling, wear bright colors, say all the right things, but their soul is unraveling. And your name? Still tied to every consequence they face. They've begged Spirit for a sign, and Spirit answered, not with peace, but with reminders. Reminders of you. Reminders of what they tried to end. They want your forgiveness, but not for the right reasons. They want peace, not accountability. They want freedom without admitting what they did in the dark. Archangel Michael says, your light was never meant to be dimmed. You were sent here with a purpose, and no curse, no hidden ritual, no ill-intentioned whisper could stop that. This person now understands that your name is not just a sound, it is a force. It commands respect. It is guarded by the heavens. Forgive them if you choose, but do not forget. Their lesson must be complete. They must walk through the fire they set for you. And if they truly seek forgiveness, they must walk humbly, without excuses, without masks, and with open hands. There's a shift happening right now. You can feel it. You may even have sensed who this person is, deep in your gut. That's no coincidence. This revelation was timed perfectly. You were never meant to carry that invisible wound without clarity. The truth is yours now. You'll start seeing changes in your life, opportunities unlocking, energy rising, doors swinging open. Why? Because you survived an unseen storm, and now the reward is here. You're rising because you stayed true when others went low. You're being lifted because you chose light while they invoked darkness. They never expected your soul to survive. They never thought your peace would grow. But it has, and it will. Let this be your reminder. Your name is sacred. Your essence is divine. No human curse can outdo celestial favor. Archangel Michael says, prepare, because a new level of destiny is opening for you. This unveiling was the last block before your breakthrough. Everything that was delayed is being released now. Everything that was paused is resuming. Everything that was hidden is being brought to light. And the one who cursed you, they being humbled. They watching you become everything they said you'd never be. So walk forward now, not in fear, but in truth. You are not cursed. You are crowned. You don't need to retaliate. The divine already answered on your behalf. This season is about elevation, not explanation. Let your light speak louder than your history. Let your actions build louder than their words. You are not a victim, you are a vessel of victory. Your name is rising in places it was once buried. Your presence is blooming where it was once hidden. They tried to bury you, but didn't know you were a seed. This isn't the end of the story, it's the rebirth. The forgiveness they seek will come with divine instruction. Until then, keep rising. And remember, those who tried to curse you are now whispering your name with trembling lips, hoping heaven still hears them. The tables have turned. Now stand in your truth. Your name is clean. Your soul is free. And your purpose is waiting. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The reason you've been feeling spiritually restless lately, it's because their thoughts have been chasing you. The same mouth that once called down curses upon your path now mumbles prayers in desperation for your forgiveness. Their heart is being squeezed by regret, and every time they try to smile, their spirit weeps. They never thought the energy would return to them like a storm. But it has. It's not just guilt, it's justice. And justice always finds its target with surgical precision. You're not imagining it, their sudden change in behavior, their subtle appearances around your life again, the odd glances. That's them, crawling back toward your light, hoping you've forgotten the darkness they once wrapped your name in. They feel your glow from afar. It burns them, not because it's meant to hurt, but because it reminds them of the grace they tried to suffocate. You are the living reminder of what they tried to extinguish and failed. Their home feels heavier now. They light candles that won't stay lit. They speak to mirrors, hoping for peace. But you can't erase karma with convenience. Their friendships are crumbling. People are noticing shifts around them. They're becoming a shadow of the confident soul they used to be, because you can't stand firm while standing on lies. Archangel Michael says, when someone tries to harm the chosen, they don't just invite chaos into your life, they open the gates of their own. And now the chaos has come home to them. They wonder why luck has abandoned them. They ask themselves why things keep falling apart, deal after deal, friend after friend, promise after promise. But deep down, they know, it started the day they cursed your name. You were protected, beloved. Even when you didn't feel strong, even when you cried in secret, heaven was building a fortress around your soul. The curse didn't reach your core because divine hands intercepted it before it could settle. The curse bounced, and now they're living in its echo. They've started telling others they wish you well, but it's not love, it's fear. They think that pretending peace will reverse their guilt. But the energy doesn't lie. Their eyes say more than their tongue. Some of them tried to go spiritual about it, chanting, fasting, cleansing, rituals, but nothing worked. Because you can't manipulate grace. You can't erase wrongdoing with theatrics. And some, in secret, began to dream of you. You showed up in visions, not vengeful, but glowing, calm, free, unbothered. And that haunted them even more. Not because you scared them, but because they saw what they tried to ruin, thriving despite it all. One of them even wrote a letter, but tore it up before sending. The shame was too heavy. They wanted to confess, but didn't know how to tell the truth after building so many lies. They never thought you'd become so strong, so still, so radiant. It confuses them. How are they still rising, they ask. But the answer was always simple. Divine protection walks with the chosen. You were made of more than they could understand. Your path was shaped by fire, and you rose through it like sacred smoke. Your tears weren't wasted, they watered something holy inside you. And now, that seed is blooming for all to see. They saw your weakness and tried to exploit it. But they forgot, weakness is where angels gather. And Archangel Michael stood at your side, sword drawn, heart fierce, protecting you in silence. The curses they spoke, they became the chains on their own ankles. Every word they twisted, every lie they spread, it all circled back. That's why they're begging now. That's why they're trembling. Not because of what you'll do, but because they've seen what truth does. You might have been silent, but heaven was not. You might have forgiven, but divine order never forgets until the balance is restored. Now they find themselves in conversations where your name is mentioned, glowing, successful, loved. And they smile, but their stomach turns. They regret. But more than that, they fear. Because they know they've been exposed. Maybe not publicly, but spiritually. Your spirit exposed their deeds to the unseen realm. The ancestors saw. The angels watched. And the universe responded. This isn't about revenge. It's about release. You don't have to prove anything. You are living proof of divine justice. Even if they never confess to you, even if they stay silent, know this. They have been marked by what they did. They will carry the weight until they choose the truth. Until they surrender and say, I did this. I harmed someone who only carried light. Their healing will not begin until they acknowledge what they sent out. And that's why they suffer still. But you, your life is about to multiply in beauty. Your peace is expanding. Your circle is shifting. New blessings are looking for you because you passed the test of the soul. You didn't fight darkness with darkness. You stood still and let the light work. Archangel Michael says, the heavens are preparing a celebration. Not because your enemies fell, but because your soul stood. They threw arrows, and you walked forward. They spread poison, and you grew gardens. They cursed your name, and now your name is a melody of miracles. So, lift your head. Walk with pride. This chapter is not about what was done to you. It's about what can't be done anymore. No more curses. No more manipulation. No more false energy in your space. You are rising into your true form, and no one can stop that now. The divine saw your pain, and turned it into power. The divine saw the lies, and replaced them with honor. You are walking proof that what was meant to destroy you was only fuel for your divine rebirth. Their begging, their apologies, their regret, it will find you in time. But it is no longer your burden to carry. You've done your part. Now, focus forward. Let heaven handle the past. And as you read this, know that the energy is already moving. The cycle is complete. And you? You are walking into glory unshaken, untouched, unbothered. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, what they tried to steal from your destiny, they are now pleading to restore in whispers. But the truth is, restoration is no longer in their hands. The divine has already stepped in and written a new chapter for you. Every time they walk past a mirror, they see it. Not just their face, but the guilt crawling in the corners of their eyes. The silent reminder that your name, yes, your sacred, luminous name, is now engraved in the stone of their consequence. You may not hear them cry, but they do. Quiet sobs late at night. Long silences during the day. Words stuck in their throat that used to pour like poison now choke them like smoke. They want to speak your name now, not in hate, but in honor. But the universe doesn't forget alignment. Their energy must match their words. Their path toward forgiveness is paved in accountability, not comfort. What they thought was a joke, a little gossip, a quick insult, a spell whispered under breath, has become a shadow attached to their every move. They tried to dim your light, but your flame only grew taller, brighter, hotter. You, chosen one, became the lighthouse while they sank into waters of their own creation. You radiated clarity while they drowned in confusion. They tried to drag your name into dirt, but your spirit was already airborne. So now they are crawling, not toward you, but toward mercy. Their friends have noticed something's wrong. Their family is starting to ask questions. Their phone feels heavier in their hands every time they scroll and see your joy, your peace, your rise. They want to reach out. They've rehearsed it in their minds hundreds of times. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I wasn't in the right place. But they can't, because the divine has pressed silence on their tongue until the timing aligns. You're not required to reply when they finally do. You're not expected to hold their shame in your hands. You're allowed to walk forward without waiting for closure. Because the truth is, you were never meant to carry what they threw at you. It was always meant to fall at your feet and die there. Archangel Michael says, you passed through that storm and came out reborn. You endured what they sent to break you, and it became the proof that you're built of something not even curses can touch. You were carved from divine purpose. They used earthly shadows. You stood on sacred soil while they dug their own pit. Now, it is not your burden to guide them out. They must rise on their own. But be aware, their eyes are still watching you. Not with hate, but with awe. They are amazed that you're still standing, that you're glowing, that you've become everything they feared you would become. They heard rumors you were done, that you were finished. But the heavens had a different story, and the earth is starting to read that new script now. Your name is being honored in realms beyond their reach. Your path is now guarded like a sacred scroll. What they tried to ruin, God chose to crown. Do not waste your breath on explaining what they already know. They knew you were a threat, not because of ego, but because of your purpose. And they tried to strike first out of fear, not power. But they didn't know the warrior that lived inside your silence. Your silence was your weapon. Your grace was your shield. And now, your blessings are your sword. There. Losing things without understanding why, opportunities slipping, doors slamming shut, support fading. Because when they cursed your name, they cursed their own alignment. The universe does not operate on secrecy. It operates on frequency, and their energy has been exposed. Meanwhile, you, beloved, are about to step into rooms where your name was once mocked. You will sit at tables where they swore you'd never be invited. And when that moment comes, you won't need to gloat. Your presence will speak the sentence. You'll start noticing signs of your elevation, strangers praising you, sudden peace in places that used to bring you anxiety, people drawn to your energy as if led by something unseen. This is what happens when divine protection overrides earthly interference. They are trying to cancel the energy they send out, but what they sowed must be faced before it can be reversed. You might hear of their downfall. You might sense their sorrow. But remember, you didn't cause it. You simply survived it. And that survival made you unstoppable. Archangel Michael says, your victory will not be loud. It will be peaceful. It will be still. It will be undeniable. It will come in waves, new connections, abundance, health, love, revelations. Not as a reward, but as confirmation that no weapon, spoken, whispered, or written, can touch a soul aligned with truth. Your name, once twisted by their tongue, will now be the reason their life reorients toward truth. You are the mirror they avoided, the echo they tried to silence. And now, they beg not just for your forgiveness, but for inner peace. But peace doesn't come without confession. Soon, you will witness them try to make amends. It might come with humility or disguised as small talk. But you will feel it instantly. The energy will tremble before it speaks. You will have a choice, to allow them to speak or to remain in silence. But know this, your soul has already been cleared. Forgiveness is your freedom. Forgetting is not required. Healing is personal, not performative. You've been called to ascend, not to repeat. And this moment? This energy? It's the parting of the waters. You are walking on sacred ground now. And as they beg the skies to relieve their burden, know this. They learned their lesson through the fire they started. Not because they hated you, but because they hated themselves. You were the target of their pain, not the cause. But heaven did not let their pain turn into your punishment. You are free now, completely, fully, eternally. The name they tried to destroy is now dripping in favor, and the path they tried to block has become your personal red carpet. Archangel Michael says, the final message is this: you are entering a season where no curse can follow, where no jealous eyes can touch, where no secret intentions can seep in. You are too covered, too called, too chosen. And they know it. That's why they weep. That's why they ask the universe to undo what they did. But the universe is quiet now, because it's watching you walk into everything they said you couldn't. And your story? It's just beginning. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, the heavens are rejoicing, not just because your enemies have been silenced, but because your name has returned to its rightful place in the spiritual realm, untainted, untouched, and now elevated. There are vibrations in the air now every time someone mentions your name. The same syllables they once twisted in hatred now tremble on the tongues of those who regret ever speaking them in malice. The energy around your name has changed. It now commands reverence, not ridicule. They wanted to reduce you, to minimize your value, to erase your presence with whispers and curses. But you cannot erase what God has branded as divine. Now, they hide when your blessings are announced. They scroll past your posts quickly, as if they're not watching, yet they can't look away. The very success they tried to bury is now haunting them in every form. This is the divine irony. They wanted to see you fail, but now your elevation has become the movie they can't stop watching. And their spirit knows, this isn't luck. This is the reward of a soul who didn't break, even when it was betrayed. You held your ground while they plotted in circles. You breathed light even while surrounded by shadows. And now, heaven has opened the floodgates over your life. Their guilt is no longer just emotional, it's spiritual. It clings to them, showing up in the most unexpected ways. Financial blockages. Dreams that won't let them rest. People suddenly distancing themselves for no clear reason. Because when you curse someone who's chosen, the entire universe moves to remind you of your error. They cursed your name, and now that same name echoes in their mind every time they lose something dear. The message is clear: this is what you tried to destroy, and failed. You are not a victim of their darkness. You are the confirmation that light never bows. They never expected you to survive. Not after what they did. Not after the spiritual interference they called upon. But you didn't just survive. You thrived. You became a beacon. A reminder. A walking contradiction to every word they used against you. They are whispering apologies into empty rooms now, hoping the universe will carry those words to your ears. But the divine does not work through shortcuts. They will have to walk the full circle of truth before grace touches their lives again. There's a trembling inside of them now. They feel watched, not by you, but by the energy they tried to manipulate. They feel like someone is always behind them, and in a way, there is. The truth they buried is following them. You are protected, beloved. You are aligned. You are covered. And what they meant for harm has become your badge of honor. Their curse turned into your calling. Their betrayal built your backbone. They fed your power unknowingly. And now they can only stand back and witness the version of you that they never believed would rise. Some will pretend nothing happened. They'll try to walk back into your life as if the curse never occurred. They'll test the waters, acting like it was all a misunderstanding. But your spirit knows better. You've grown too much to entertain what nearly destroyed you. Forgive? Perhaps. Forget? Never. Because forgetting means ignoring the warning. And warnings are sacred. You don't need to retaliate. Your elevation is enough. You are the proof that no one can bury what was born to bloom. Archangel Michael says, your presence alone now convicts them. Your peace now pierces their unrest. When they hear your name, they flinch. When they see your image, they feel exposed. Because truth has a way of shining a light on everything fake. They know you felt their energy. They know you sensed what they did. And still, you rose with dignity. That's what disturbs them most. That they couldn't take away your grace. That after everything, they couldn't touch your essence. Let them speak now with trembling voices. Let them seek absolution in the dark. But you, stay in the light. You've earned your place through silence, patience, and truth. You are not responsible for their regret. You are responsible only for your healing. Do not let guilt bait you into old patterns. Your soul has upgraded. Your name has changed frequencies. It now speaks in tones that only the blessed can understand. And they're no longer on that frequency. Let them cry in private. Let them try to undo the spiritual contracts they invoked against you. But know that heaven already voided them the moment your soul was proven true. Every word they uttered in bitterness became a brick in the prison they now sit in spiritually. And every silent prayer you spoke while hurting became a seed that is now blooming around your life. You didn't fight them. You didn't curse back. You just endured, and that endurance has crowned you with invisible glory. Now walk in it, boldly. You owe no explanation for your glow-up. You owe no reply to apologies that come too late. Their begging is real. Their sorrow is loud. But your silence now holds the power of judgment. Let your joy speak. Let your elevation answer. Let your peace thunder louder than their regret. You are no longer who you were when they tried to destroy you. That version of you is gone. What remains is the divine version, untouchable, protected, awakened. The future ahead of you has no room for their shame. The path is clearing, the blessings are arriving, and heaven is writing your name on doors they cannot enter. And you, chosen one, must continue forward. No more looking back. No more second chances for those who tried to finish you with spiritual violence. They cursed your name, and now they are weeping behind closed doors, praying that somehow, you'll show them mercy. Let heaven decide their fate. Your only duty now is to rise. You are walking into a life that will shock them. You are stepping into favor so rich, even they will begin to praise you behind your back. And that's justice. That's divine alignment. That's the power of a name that cannot be cursed. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.